co-host?
Yep, we're good. Thank you.
Okay, no problem. You got 20 minutes.
I just heard Alexa, so I think we're good.
All right. Well, thank you, Alexa. Thank you all for talking to me. So tell me about this incredible project of yours. I want to know how each of you were involved, starting with Tom.
Oh, well, this was, we go back in the Wayback Machine to early 2020. I had just finished a brief stint as a Sinatra crooning taco on The Masked Singer. I remember telling all you guys about it because it hadn't aired yet. I had to be, I was violating my NDA. But anyway, then Michelle and Heather came along and talked to me. I think David too, to talk to me about this project, and asked if I'd like to do an acting gig. And I thought, gee, anything that I could do on camera where I don't have to throw to a commercial, that would be great. So yeah, so that's how I got involved.
Nice. What about you, Daniel?
So I think we did the table read, a table read, July 2019. Is that right?
That's right.
And I found my way to this delicious project through David Fickus, who was, I went to USC for theater, and we did not cross paths there, but we crossed paths afterwards. And sweet director David Fickus and sort of roped me in, and I'm so glad.
So are we. Jinx, you owe me a Coke.
Oh my God.
What about you, Michelle? How'd you get involved?
Well, Heather and I co-created this show. So we started, we've been Vision Accountability. Yeah, we've been Vision Accountability partners for a long time and just started talking about what we might create together. And we really are an odd couple. So we leaned into our polarities and started improvising and came up with these characters and then started writing, essentially.
Heather,
And that was how many years ago now? So Michelle, that would be now
2016 when we started. So we've been exploring this for a long time, and I was just reflecting back on all that because it really started with like us leaning into the most polarized aspects of ourselves. And
it was one of our vision and accountability meetings, and Michelle got very frustrated because we were having one of those moments where we were not, like, what we were trying to contribute to one another was not working. And she had a very expressive reaction to that caught me off guard. And I literally said to her, what the hell was that? And it ended up being a line actually in the series because it was a turning point, because after that, we laughed so hard that day and said, what would happen if we ever had to work in the real world? Like if we had to work in a more typical office environment, how would that work? And that started the whole thing about 6 years ago. So yeah, we had no idea what we were in for.
No.
Devin, did you want to add anything?
Oh, sure. I also went to USC, and I think you find if you go to USC, most of your USC roads will go through David Fickus somehow. And so I was chatting with David about something, or David would like frantically text like, I have a proposition, I have an idea, blah, 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 blah. And he just said 2 words, which were Daniel Montgomery. And I said, yep. And that was that. Daniel and I have been best friends my freshman year.
Oh, wow. That's incredible. That must be great.
Yeah, we met doing a student film, second semester my freshman year, second semester your sophomore year. And we hadn't acted since then. So it'd been a solid 10 years, and leave it to Fickus to bring it all full circle.
All back together.
Yeah, all back together for our decade reunion.
You know, watching you two play together was so much fun. It was one of my highlights on set. I love watching you two play off each other.
For sure. Their chemistry and their ability to like make a moment that was funny on the page just absolutely come to life with so much energy and so much humor. I mean, yeah, we got incredibly lucky to have the two of you reconnect that way. We're thankful we got to be the source of that reunion, for sure.
We were thankful to be there. Oh my goodness.
Oh yeah.
Nice.
To have a hoot with that guy, and then to have a captive audience. Come on, don't threaten me with a good time.
Nice. And now you're all appearing on the show, right? You're all acting in it. Nice. Now, can you each describe what your role is?
Wait, Tom should go first again because
Yes,
Okay,
absolutely.
his might
I
be the most fun.
I play the old guy. I'm Rex. I'm the dad and head of the business who decides to retire and travel the world. And my daughter, played by Michelle, is shall we say a tad flighty. And I think she needs to kind of settle down and get control of her life. And Heather, her character, is my kind of uptight but crucial associate in the company. So as I retire, which I announced to them at my 65th birthday party, rapidly with a melting cake, another story. But anyway, I tell them they each have 50% of the company and work it out. That's that. And then I disappear and show up occasionally in various parts of the globe.
It's so cute. I love that. All right. Who wants to go next?
Well, I'll go. Just in order as we went last time.
Yeah.
I play Herschel. I am sort of the intermediary in a way between Heather's character and Michelle's character. I've been working at this sort of ad company as a designer for a while, and this introduction to having to work with Michelle's character is kind of throws everyone for a loop. And I sort of, as someone who's been working there for a while, is sort of trying to hold it all together and to make sure things continue to get done and move forward and put out some fires and throw some opinions in at the same time. I am sort of the balance between the two at sometimes, and sometimes it's fun and sometimes it's frustrating, but I think Herschel ultimately loves both of these two and loves some of the drama of everything that unfolds.
Yeah, a little bit. Take it away, Michelle.
Yeah, so I play Aurora, the lovely daughter of Rex, who's had a lot of freedom to traverse the world and be in shamanic ceremonies and things of that nature, and be really playful with not a lot of responsibility. So I bring that energy into the office, and I think I get an opportunity, Aurora gets an opportunity to really grow and how to bring all that energy into a form that can be received by those in an office environment. And, there's a lot of ups and downs within that, a lot of playfulness and a lot of learning and growth with all the characters. And she's a blast to play. She's like the version of me that is not also a producer. So she's really fun. I just kind of take off my responsibilities and get to be like the actual me without any of the other stuff that I put on to navigate the world as an adult.
Yeah, and it's so funny because Michelle plays Aurora and I play Karen, which we named her Karen long before Karen became a adjective to describe someone, but it kind of worked. And it's the same for me, that Karen is the most uptight type A workaholic version of me. So like when I give up everything I know about freedom and play and art, my artistry, and I just zoom in on business, it's that part of me. So we're both playing these extreme sides of ourselves and letting them go at each other. And it makes for me, it's kind of fun to play Karen because, because I work really hard to be more enlightened operating in the world, I don't get to lean in to that incredibly uptight side of me just for the fun of it. And it's kind of a blast to get to do that. Especially with a group of people like this, it's like there's so much fun to bounce off of. But
you're a conscientious Karen. You're not one of those
just
whack job Karens. Yeah.
No, just really conscientious and wanting to get things right and make sure everything's taken care of. Like super protective of Rex and our ad agency. So
right.
And then Clementine shows up.
Oh, bless. Who knows what or who or when Clementine is. She's the imp that just floats on through, drops some bombs that I'm not going to say are truth bombs, just says stuff, and then it just floats on back out the door. And Herschel's usually the one just trying to like, who's bumping up against her. And so that's the play between me and Daniel. That was so fun. That he, like, if Karen and Aurora are opposites, then Herschel and Clementine are kind of another tier of conflict, and which brings about the comedy.
For sure.
Nice. That's incredible. I'm already picturing all you guys together. You already have great chemistry here. So I could see it on the show just exploding, and I'm so here for it.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. And what would you say was the biggest challenge? This is for everybody, by the way, the biggest challenge about filming this, because I know part of it was done during the pandemic, correct?
Just before, well,
Right
my
before.
part was before. Wait,
Yeah.
did you guys finish shooting?
Our last day
beforehand?
of shooting with you, Tom, was the last day total.
Oh,
And
okay.
that was what did we figure out, guys? Like
3 weeks.
3 weeks-ish
Yeah.
before
Yeah.
everything shut down.
Right.
Yeah. So that was, luckily we didn't encounter that challenge. I remember us talking about it that last day on set, that there was like these rumors of this thing that was happening in the world, but it hadn't landed yet. But yeah, for, the first challenge for us, it started with the crowdfunding that we did to raise the money to make it in the first place, obviously. And then once we overcame that hurdle, then it just became more about coordinating the time on set. And we got so lucky because when the idea of Tom Bergeron got floated around for Rex, we went crazy. Like the possibility of that was such a perfect fit.
Stop.
It was for what we were imagining. So we had two people between David Fickus and one of his connections, and the incredible executive producer at the Motion Picture Television Fund, Jennifer Clymer, who's a really good friend of mine. I knew she knew Tom, but I didn't know what a solid relationship they had, because Tom does so much good work for Motion Picture Television Fund, MPTF. Check them out if you haven't. So that casting, as that started to come together, then it just came about timing. Like, when can we get on campus to do this shooting? They let us use some of their facilities, which was unbelievable. And then how do you get all of these incredibly talented, really busy people together all at the same time? So that was the challenge. And then the melting cake that Tom.
Oh, the melting cake. Yeah.
Okay, I gotta hear this story.
Well, yeah, I was only there for a day, and what amazed me was how just flexible David and everybody was with this one location. We turned it into about 4 or 5 separate locales for Rex to be traveling the globe. And having seen it all, it plays really well. I mean, it's amazing when you know that this was all just one property that we were, infiltrating. But the cake, the birthday cake, because it's at Rex's 65th birthday that provides the catalyst for the story. Whoever got the cake, who shall mercifully remain nameless, instead of getting a cake, got an ice cream cake with my face on it. So, and we were in this particular home a little later than we thought we were going to be. So one of the homeowners was not that thrilled that we were taking that long, and my cake was melting. So you never saw a group of actors and a crew, kind of ratchet up the time frame to get everything before it was a big puddle with my face on top,
Yeah, I think there was somebody, the person who shall remain nameless, who is wonderful, just didn't think it through and attempted to save some money. I guess it was on sale.
Yeah.
So it became its own character.
Really paid for it though.
We did.
Yeah.
And do you remember? And what was funny is it was so cold that night.
It was
cold.
We were in Altadena, right? We were chewing on ice
right.
between takes to keep the air, the bubbles showing up in the air when we would speak, the mist, because it was so cold. So the irony that it wasn't cold enough to keep that damn cake from melting, but that we had to keep sitting out there in the freezing cold, take after take, and pretending like all was well. Yeah, it was challenging.
Not gonna lie though, I would have been a nameless person that bought an ice cream cake too. Not gonna lie. So whoever did it, I would have done the same thing.
It was so cute. He's like, these face cakes are really expensive and the ice cream was way cheaper than the other. And we were like, you're killing us, man.
That is adorable. That makes me smile so big. And what's one thing you hope people take away and like from this show? And anybody could enter.
Oh, I got one.
Michelle.
I just, I've been so excited about this show, and the odd couple archetype has been around for so long, and it continues to be around, and we're still trying to figure out how to play in the same sandbox with people that we are different from, and to do this in a playful way. And we also get to bring in little nuggets in a really playful way of nonviolent communication is something I'm just excited and proud of. And with everything happening in the world right now, I still feel like good about sharing this show, because underneath it all, it is about that. How can we collaborate with people we don't always get along with or can't even stand to be around with sometimes? And how can we do that in a way that's actually productive? So
Beautifully said, partner.
Yeah.
Anyone want to add anything else to that part?
I hope people just get a giggle out of it too.
Yeah.
A good laugh. It's something that's like a lot of heart and soul was poured into it, and time, of course, it was started in 2016. But it's also it's fun, and we had a lot of fun making it, and I hope that comes through.
I think it will. And because I'm putting it out into the universe, you get a season 2. What else can we expect to see? And will we see Tom again?
Oh, so this has turned into a proof of concept pilot, because it was 6 little mini episodes that clearly just make a fantastic 55-minute pilot, right? So in the future, I guarantee you that Rex will be a huge part of it, and that we imagine him popping up in so many different scenarios. Like, we let our imaginations go crazy on the different kinds of adventures. I mean, there could definitely be some bungee jumping. I can imagine a parachute at some point. There's like a lot.
The worst possible thing for your 2 characters would be if I had second thoughts.
Oh God.
No, I like that idea.
Yeah. And I
think
start coming back and try to,
to help.
fiddle and, try to help. Yeah. Yeah. And buy me another round trip ticket around the globe.
and we definitely want to meet Herschel's boyfriend, Carl, because he comes up quite a bit.
He's mentioned so often.
Carl. And who's playing him? We don't know yet. Daniel probably does, but we haven't been clued in yet.
I got some options.
We have some dreams.
And we want to know about Clementine, because there's a whole story there that we haven't even gotten to dive into.
Clementine. And as far Clementine.
So there's just so much to go. And we don't have some other people like James Leger plays a fantastic character on the show. He plays a brewery owner named Mark, who is one of the clients of the ad agency. And Karen is completely smitten for him and a complete idiot about what to do about it. So that's an interesting twist of things between business and pleasure. And I have a feeling that Aurora might have some of her male suitors make an appearance from one of beyond places in the globe, far-flung romances. So we have all kinds of ideas. I'm beginning to think you know me secretly, and you base Karen on me because I'm very type A and exactly the same way. So I'm beginning to think you chose. If you're awkward around hot guys, you and Karen would get along great. Oh yeah, okay. Now you definitely base Karen on me. Nice. Hey, I'm really sad we're almost out of time because I'm having a blast, but I want each of you to describe the show in 3 words. Oh.
Playful.
Same order.
Okay, same order.
So damn fine viewing.
Good.
That's not one of them. Sweet and funny.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Playful, heartfelt, playful.
Charming comedic chaos.
Oh, I like that.
I like that too.
Yeah. Hoot and one word because it's just short. Holler.
Hoot and holler. I like that. Yeah.
I like that too.
Yeehaw! Who knows?
Yes. And we are almost done, but I want to know, Tom, are you writing a sequel to your book? Because I read your book again very recently and I
Oh,
loved
you're
it.
the one.
It is me, yes. I've read it a bunch of times because it's such an inspiration
thank
to
you.
me.
That book is holding up some of the finest windows in America right now. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it's called I'm Hosting as Fast as I Can. Really, it's a book, as you know, Sammy, it's really a book about meditation, about the importance of being present in your life.
Yes,
And
that's why I like it.
I'm a meditator of over 40 years now. Started when I was 2. And so I used anecdotal stuff about my career to kind of string that together, to make it a covert book about meditation. But thank you. I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Thank you so much. It's been a blast to speak to each and every one of you. I'm proud of you all, appreciate you all, and I hope we get to talk again soon.
Yes, and one more thing before everyone
Yes.
goes, can I grab a snapshot of everybody before we go?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Yay. So I'll do it on 1, like 3, 2, 1. Okay.
Yeah. I'm trying to get the ring light out of my glasses here. Hold on.
You got it.
3, 2, 1. All right.
Lovely.
Great.
Thank you.
Thanks, Sammy. We love you guys. Thank you so much for making time.
Bye.
Thank you for being here.
See you
Yes.
next week, everybody.
Yeah.
Looking forward to it. Looking forward
Can't
to it.
wait.
Take care.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thanks
Thank
again,
you.
Sammy.
Anytime. Thank you.
Thank you,
Perfect.
Sammy.
Thank you so much. Monica, I will send you that thing as soon as I get a
Okay.
moment.
All right.
Perfect.
Thanks,
Thank you so much.
Monica. Thank you so much.
No problem. Let me just make sure. So Sammy, you able to, because Michelle just talked